Today we are coloring this sketch of Ghoul's Day Out, featuring a demon girl and I guess it's Medusa. Unfortunately, my dumb self forgot to record the skin part of Medusa. I had the camera set up and I guess my camera was paused instead of recording. So that was fun. So apologies for that. I lost a whole good hour of, not hour, but like 30 minutes of footage. But yeah, I'm just going in and doing the skin on the demon character, trying to capture like the light and everything with the Ohuhus, and then getting the shadows and everything. I've had a lot of fun with these markers, and I've been really trying to find a happy medium going back into digital. I did a little bit of a poll on my community tab, asking if y'all wanted me to go back to kind of doing more digital work, and it seems like a lot of you do kind of want me to find more of a happy medium. So I have been kind of experimenting with finding time to go back to digital art. So I have been at least attempting to do so. So it's just, I've been just so in love with traditional lately, and I've been just having a lot of fun. So, but there, will be some more digital work coming soon. I have a video planned that I've been working on. So it's just, traditional art has kind of taken me back. It's got my heart right now. I'm doing the highlights here. I wanted to do kind of like Hex Girl's inspired hair on her. I don't remember the name of the singer of Hex Girls, but I kind of had like her hair in mind when I was doing the demon girl's hair. And then I honestly was very overwhelmed with doing Medusa's hair. I really didn't know how I was going to do it. I have tried drawing Medusa before, and I always would basically give up on the piece because I would get overwhelmed with how kind of confusing the snakes can get. And I did like a sketch in my sketchbook where I planned out this drawing before I did this in my Ohuhu sketchbook. And I feel like I got like the base of it down, so I felt more confident going into this piece. But coloring it was a little bit more of a nightmare than I thought it was going to be, simply because like I wanted to make sure that I made the snakes make sense, because they, I didn't want them to get lost, and I wanted them to look like snakes and not like weird hair strands. So I did have a little bit of a tough time, but I feel like in the end, especially after I add my final details, the snakes make a lot more sense and they come together a lot better. So I can say I'm pretty pleased with how Medusa turns out in the end. So yeah, I'm pretty content with this. The sketchbook I'm using, by the way, is the double-sided Ohuhu sketchbook. So on the other side of this, there is another piece done with Ohuhu markers. This sketchbook does not bleed through, and it's kind of insane. Like, if you want a bleed-proof alcohol marker sketchbook, I really recommend this one. Not an ad or anything. I can't stress enough how crazy it is that this one actually doesn't bleed through. So, because it drives me insane when there's bleed through, and yeah, it's annoying. But I'm just going in and like using like yellow to dot around like texture on the like kind of like scales on the whatchamacallit, on the snakes. And then it took me a little bit to get started on the dress, because I was kind of staring at the dress because I didn't know what I wanted to color her dress. I didn't know if I wanted to do black or if I wanted to give her a blue dress or something more crazy, and I decided that red was just going to be a good fit for her. So I decided to do red. I don't like that like little line that I put in the middle. I don't know why I did that. It looks really weird. So I'm a little disappointed in myself for that. It was supposed to be like a crease and it ended up being so harsh. And then I did like her little star. The star looks a little janky, but better than my other attempts at doing a chest star. on other drawings, to be honest, because there's a couple other attempts that I've done where the star was like really, really fucked up. And it just did not work out. So, and then I'm using like my silver Art X marker to do like silver details, and then I used my gold Art X marker to do the demon's belt. And then I'm going in with variations of red gray to do the chalice, because I feel like red tones worked really well for this character specifically, and then I stuck with like green tones for Medusa. And then I'm going in with the color blender, the colorless blender, to dot in some texture. And then decided that I was going to do a cool gray background because it would contrast well with the characters. Luckily, I didn't face too much streakiness except for like at the very top. So it's a pretty good coverage of this one. Pretty pleased with how the background ended up turning out. I think it contrasts well with them. And then going in with my Ohuhu fine liners to line the characters. I've gotten more comfortable with line art lately. So line art is essentially my kryptonite. I've always, avoided it like the plague. And I've been feeling a lot more confident with it now that I've been doing traditional art. And it's been kind of requiring me to actually sit down and do line art. So I've been getting a little bit more of a steadier hand, and it's been working out a lot better for me. I feel like the snakes are so much more defined and so much more readable after doing the line art, and I'm so glad that like those all turned out really well in the end. I can't stress enough how much more pleased I am with the piece after I was able to add their little eyes and add the outline to them. So yeah, I'm not too pleased with Medusa's hand on her hip. I can say I struggled with it pretty much a few times. I had to redraw it, and I'm still not very happy with it. And then I'm actually pretty happy with how I drew the demon girl holding the chalice. I just wish I drew the chalice a little differently. I feel like the angle of the chalice is a little weird. The perspective is off slightly, but this was a very experimental piece for me. And then here I'm just going in with my white gel pen and adding additional little details. And I feel like this really, really lights up the piece, especially on the snakes. Like the little details I put on the snakes, the little speckles, it really, really lights them up and adds like little scale details to them. And I feel like it really was a needed touch. And then I was able to kind of light up the blood in the chalice a little bit. And then I went in with my white Art X marker and just added some little sparkles around them. And then this is the final piece. I can say I am honestly super, super pleased with how this one turned out. And if you enjoyed this type of video and you made it this far, I greatly appreciate you. My name is Brittany, and I make art videos like this all the time where I ramble about my process. And if you're new here and haven't subscribed, I invite you to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.